All right, hey, we are back. This is the Icebox. We are opening it up to you today, and Diggs is back with us as well. So I'm sure everyone's really excited about that.
My name is Diggs.
We are on episode 20. Diggs, we are back in full force. This is 2017, and you are joining us once again, probably because of popular demand. Welcome to episode 20, man. We did it. 20 episodes are under our belt. How do you feel about that?
I feel happy. This also reminds me when I sat today at the 26th, I sat in the same spot every day at my school at lunchtime for 26 days.
That's a streak?
26-day streak.
Wow, they're not moving you anytime soon?
I hope not. I just have to be the first cold launcher in line.
You have to be the what?
First cold launcher in line.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
26 days in a row, huh?
Yeah.
Well, awesome. See, I'm moving the camera here. I don't know if you can tell. Just to kind of get... No, they don't want to see me. All right, so we'll go like that. All right, that's better. We'll go like that. Good? See, I got to move this way or this way? Oh, look at us. Hey, Icebox, number 20. Here we go. So you've been obviously absent for a few episodes.
Yeah.
It's okay. I told everyone that you've just been playing some video games, getting some more video game information to reveal to all of us.
Yeah, I got Cluster Truck and Astroneer.
Say that slower and a little bit more clear.
I have gotten Cluster Truck and Astroneer.
Now, I'll ask you, what turned you on to those things?
Videos.
What kind of videos from?
iBallistic Squid.
Which you watch on?
YouTube.
Yes, YouTube. Hopefully everyone's subscribed to our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
We have some videos up there as well. You can see them in our links when we post it to our Twitter feed. You remember what our Twitter handle is, Diego? Diggs?
I don't think so.
No, you don't?
No, I think IceBox
Keep going.
iceboxcast.
At iceboxcast is our Twitter handle.
I thought it was .com after that.
No .com for the Twitter feed. So, yeah, follow our links on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter. You can see us at iceboxcast on the Twitter. Anyway, so episode 20. This is actually really, really exciting for me. Hope it is for you too, Diggs. But
yeah,
this isn't really as easy as we had thought it was when we first started.
Yeah.
We've made a lot of progress from where to post our videos, how to post our videos. We're on Snapchat now. Our handle on Snapchat is iceboxcast. Follow us on there. We're on Instagram, same handle, iceboxcast. Twitter, like we mentioned, at iceboxcast. You can find us on Hangouts or Google at iceboxcast@gmail.com. So give us a message, especially now that Diggs is back. He'd love to hear from he'd love to hear from you. But before we get into our main thing here, episode 20 is going to bring us part 2 of our first remote guest on the Icebox, his uncle, Jason Wischer. So we're going to bring back to you his discussion on leadership, on colors, inspiration, his podcast and vlog career, and see how he's doing on that, and just some more tangents that I'm sure he and I are going to get back onto.
I think I'm going to nod for the whole time.
No, you're going to talk because people want to hear you talk. They don't want to hear me talk all the time.
I'm going to nod all the time.
But go ahead and keep nodding. It makes it look like what I'm saying is really important, so I appreciate that.
It is important.
So part 2 of that awesome conversation with Jason Wischer is coming up shortly. We're on there. I think he's got a nice long conversation with us again. So we'll bring that back to you in a moment. But Diggs and I did want to share a couple things. Diggs, first of all, I'm sure because you've been absent for a few episodes, how was your Christmas, man?
It was awesome. I got a sound wave and a blaster, and I got a 3DS and Pokemon Moon.
Whoa, 3DS?
Yeah.
And Pokemon Moon?
Yeah.
Awesome. And, well, I should say Soundwave is a pretty cool
apparently one of my friends has been playing too much Pokemon Sun because they memorized all the Z move dances.
That's probably too much, man. But hey, it happens. It happens. No, that's awesome. How far have you gotten in Pokemon?
I'm on
Sun.
Moon. I'm on Trial 3.
How many trials are there?
A lot.
Yeah, you don't know though.
No.
That's fine. Well, so like people 10. Who haven't played, because Pokemon Moon and Sun have just come out. What do you have to say about it? Are you excited for it? Is it awesome? Is it what you thought it was going to be?
It's awesome. If people are expecting there to be gyms, there are no gyms. It's just the trials.
Oh, okay.
So, and there's about more than 10 trials, so
It'll keep you
More.
busy.
Yeah.
But that's a big difference, actually. But are the trials the same kind of thing as the gyms?
Yeah.
Okay, so just maybe named differently or different
Yeah.
couple things available. Oh, that's cool.
Like in the first one, you have to find the ratatas and caves and then battle them.
So a good game, not a good game?
Yeah, it's awesome.
2 thumbs up from you? There you go, people. Diggs rating Pokemon Sun for you. Moon. It's the same thing. Just
Yeah,
what's
it
different
is.
about? Okay, so what's the difference between Sun and Moon?
Moon is better because Lunala. I can't talk.
It determines what Pokemon is exclusive to that game.
Yes.
All right. So in Moon, what's the exclusive Pokemon?
There's there's Lunala, the legendary, and then there's also just the different version of Lycanroc.
Okay. And Sun would have who then? Do you know the name or no? It's okay
No,
if you don't. You don't.
I
You're not
don't.
playing it, so that's what I understand. If you
And
don't.
then and then they also have a different version of Lycanroc.
Okay. Well, cool.
Yeah.
So go out and get Pokemon Sun and Moon to those who are lucky enough to have a 3DS and go play it. Dig sounds like he's having fun on that. So
I am.
Christmas was good otherwise?
Yeah. I also got Yokai Watch 2, Bony Spirits, Mega Man Legacy Collection, and Super Smash Bros.
Wow, that's quite a haul. So you're probably pretty busy playing some games, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have to invest in some of that game capture software. And then you can play for the masses. That's our next venture, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to try to get capture our video game footage and put it onto our YouTube channel. And maybe some other fun things as well. But we're working on that. We're working on it. You got to fund it. All this stuff costs money. It's not free. It's not.
Happy payday.
It's not free.
No birthday, it's payday.
Payday. It's not free, okay? Okay. Anyway. All right, so we're bringing to you Jason Wischer today, but one more thing we wanted to cover. We actually just hit a bargain store. Do you remember what it's called? You don't.
Bargain store.
It is called Bargain Store. If you guys know locally where Lost World of Wonders is, shout out to Lost World of Wonders, the best comic book store in my side of the area. Very fun place, lots to offer, but that's not what we're here talking about. But Lost World of Wonders, if you need to get comic books, go there. But we're talking about the store that's actually right next to them called the Bargain Center.
Not
And
Science and Surplus, but the other one.
yeah, Science and Surplus.
That
Science and Surplus,
is awesome.
cool store. Lost
Yeah.
World of Wonders, excellent comic shop. And the Bargain Center, which is right next. All these three on their same little strip mall here. Bargain Center is a pretty good store. It's been there for a couple years, if not a few years. It pretty much offers what the name of the store entitles.
Yeah.
Everything. Clothes, movies, games, toys, action figures, comic books, hero clicks, Legos,
Everything.
all kinds of like thrifty stuff, okay?
Even hands.
Really?
Lego hands.
Gotcha. All right. So it's actually a pretty cool price and a cool place. And the neat thing about it, most of these kind of places, the prices are skyrocketing up. This has a good combination. There's a couple great deals. There's some that are okay, but there are some things where like, ooh, wow, that's still an expensive price. But generally, when you find those items, it's kind of worth it, or they know exactly what they got in their store. Sometimes they don't, though, and we'll go through a couple of things because on our most recent trip there, Diggs, we picked up a few things.
Yes. We
All right,
did.
I'm going to start, and it'll segue into you, okay?
Okay.
All right, you want to segue it means?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right,
It's like
so
Segway riding into me.
for $4.99, I picked up this vintage Green Arrow figure. Now,
Do the
again,
fist thing.
I will in a second.
Oh.
Give it away. So I picked up Green Lanterns from the DC Superpowers collection. This was a toy that I liked a lot when I was a kid, probably even younger than Diggs is currently. He was only $4.99. He's missing his lantern. That's okay. That just means I have to hunt for it now. But if he gets his lantern, this figure is actually in pretty great shape. He can lift his leg up. He can lift this leg up without it falling down or anything like that. He can bend at his knees. There's stiff joints. This arm can rise up. This arm can rise up. And his head can turn. All right, so not the most articulation, but his action feature is intact, which Diggs was mentioning before. Right there. His power ring. See, you gotta subscribe to us on YouTube because right now our audio listeners, I'm doing the best I can to describe what this character is. But if you're on YouTube, you can literally see my Green Lantern action figures from the DC Superpowers collection.
And the
Picked
others
up
that we have.
for only $4.99.
Yeah.
Yeah, only $4.99 for this guy.
Plus tax.
And plus tax, of course. But all the paint is really nice. He's got one little blemish on the tip of his nose. Otherwise, his hair, pretty solid. Really, really decent. His logo. Let's see, I gotta always figure this out where the camera is positioned. His logo's pretty much intact. You see that little scarf at the bottom there. But very nice figure.
It's amazing.
Very nice figure. The black is solid. So I picked him up. I also picked up, for the simple joy of, I had this figure as a kid as well, from the movie RoboCop. He's missing. He's missing. And again, it's okay. It's okay. It was a deal. The price was good. Again, I think he was $3.99. So he's got a removable helmet, and underneath it you get to see Murphy's pretty face. It's, someone has to love it. And then you can put his helmet right back on. So removable helmet. His, again, joints are all stiff. Very solid figure. Again, missing the gun, but I'm sure I can find that and put it on, and then he'll be a complete figure. Pretty nice little RoboCop figure there for you. So paint decent. He looks like he's been played with before. That's what figures are supposed to be for. But if you know the stuff that makes it in my collection that I display and stuff, they got to be in pretty decent shape. So anything I pick up will be in decent shape. I also picked up this guy from the Rock Lord Connect series of figures. What's his name? Shoot, I forgot his name. I was gonna say Boulder, but Boulder's the name of the leader. I can't remember. Granite Tumbler. I can't remember. I can't remember his name offhand. So he's a little loose joint right there. Otherwise, this is solid. His head stays up, so that's solid. His feet are positioned really well. So this is from the Rock Lords Connect collection. This is an offshoot of the GoBots collection when that was out in the 80s. Again, another vintage figure here. But this guy, he transforms. Oh, I just thought. Oh, there we go. He transforms into a rock.
That's awesome.
Like so.
Yeah.
So again, a vintage figure here, pretty decent shape as well. Everything's stiff on him for the most part, except for that one little loose joint on his hand, but not the end of the world. Otherwise, solid figure right there. So, and then the last thing I picked up is from Dungeons and Dragons, and he's missing his shield, but this figure he's actually really, really nice. Tight joints, paint wear there is none. Which is solid, and this is from 1983 Dungeons and Dragons. His name is War Duke. I had this guy as a kid, and I remember I made him so cool. He's going to be even cooler now that I'm 39 years old, still buying these kind of figures. But he comes with his sword, and he looks really, really nice. Great figure, and he was only $4.99 as well. Not a bad deal. Again, 1983. That's 93, 2003, 13, and 7. 37-year-old. No, is that it?
Mm.
Let's try it again. 83, 93, 2003, 13. That's 30 years. Holy cow. Yeah. And 34. Holy cow! I never stick that bad at math. 34-year-old figure. I don't even know if I got that answer right, but I'm going to go continue on with this conversation. Otherwise, I'll be here forever. 1983. Came out in 1983. But very cool figure nonetheless. A heck of a... This is one of those figures where I don't think they knew what they had on their hands. But very cool for only $4.99. Awesome War Duke figure. I also picked up, and this is going to segue into Diggs' next little batch of characters. From Lego, I picked up 1960s Batman for all these Lego figures. That's what Diggs is going to show you. He's got Lego minifigures. $1.99 for these guys. That is a great price. I shouldn't have told everyone that that's the price, because now everyone's going to go there and steal them from us. But hey, I want to be honest too. $1.99 for this guy.
It's amazing.
Julie Newmar, Catwoman, again from the 60s. $1.99. I'm not going to repeat the price every single time because it's the same price. And the classic Joker. Look at that. Look at these guys. You have all these rules and you think they'll save you. Where is she? You can't save her. Where is she? It's from the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's my pickups from this show. I picked up another Lego figure, but my hands were hurting from building them, so I didn't build them. But I bought the
hard.
Demo Goblin from Amazing Spider-Man. I can show you his package that he came in.
Hobgoblin.
No, that's the Hobgoblin. Yeah, right. Okay. All right, so Diggs, go ahead and show him your guys. I'm gonna back up a little bit in case he needs the camera.
Okay.
All right.
I got a really cool. These two figures are from only one set. You can find them. Is the Joker Funland set, and it is Starfire.
Very cool.
And Beast Boy.
Very cool figures.
Yeah.
Very cool. And again, what the reason why these are so cool to pick up here is that they're usually only available in the big sets that are like close to what, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 plus dollars sometimes.
110.
So it's nice to have this kind of availability to pick and choose from these figures so that you can enjoy them. Otherwise, you got to buy the big sets. So, all right, continue. Sorry, man.
And then I got an Archangel, which I think is pretty cool, and he has shiny wings.
Silver metallic silver.
Whoa.
Very
Okay.
cool, Archangel.
And then I also got Black Panther with also shiny claws. Whoa, look at that. It's like a glare of brightness. Okay, and then I just put these guys together because all of them didn't have a base. I got Scarlet Spider.
Cool, from the Clone Saga.
And Kraven.
From the Kraven Clone Saga. Just kidding. From the Kraven the Hunter. Very cool.
And then I got Baron Zola.
Zemo.
Zemo.
Baron Zemo.
Got that totally correct first try.
Put him on the base so that people on YouTube can see it.
And then his gun that he has in his hand, I just put it on him because Black Panther came with it, but I don't think it fits. So I just kind of...
He was on his... He was quick thinking. Oh, there goes the gun. All right. So you, our audio listeners, you can Google all these characters. You can see exactly what we're looking at. Unless you know the characters, then you kind of have a good idea of what they would look like in Lego form. But again, the only way to really get the benefit of this is watching us on YouTube. So go check us out on YouTube. Go ahead.
And then we have...
Oh, one of my favorites!
Captain Marvel. It's the other head there. I just decided to do this because it's kind of hard to take their head off.
It's not like she chopped a head off and put it on her side there. That's her other alternate head, or costume head. So, yeah, Captain Marvel. AKA
and plus,
Carol
I like
Danvers.
this wave from Civil War 2. I mean, it's...
Oh, don't even get... Yeah, I'm reading Civil... Well, Diggs is further on Civil War 2.
I finished it.
Is it over?
There's Aftermath, but...
Oh, okay. I guess it is finished. So he finished it. I'm only on issue 4 right now. You can see some brief reviews on that on our Snapchat and Instagram. Actually, usually after I think I mentioned this on our last podcast, but after every comic I read, assuming I have the ability to do it, I kind of put up what we're currently reading. It's really just me. It's not Diggs right now. But he's been reading Civil War, and you can kind of see what we have to say about those issues on our IceBox cast, and on Snapchat and on Instagram. All right, last little figure here.
And then I got Captain America, the newer version. Let's try and get a... Okay.
Yeah, the one that's out right now. You can see with his new shield.
Yeah, his new shield is also from Civil War 2 comic.
Was he in that too?
Yeah.
With the shield?
Yep.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. Cool. All right, and then the last pickup that he made, right?
It's
pretty. This is a pretty good find. This it's vintage, and I owned it, and I sold it. I sold a lot of my collection. I sold a lot of my collection before Diggs was born, so that I can get some extra money to make sure Diggs had diapers and clothes and stuff. So I sold a lot of my collection prior to his birth and my daughter's birth to kind of get some extra money for that.
YouTube.
Anyway, didn't need to know all that information unless you wanted to go get a glimpse of my little personal life. You just got a little glimpse, so enjoy it, treasure it. All right, this is cool. Vintage game from Game Boy. And it was on the Game Boy Color. Game Boy Advance? What's it called?
Just
Game Boy Advance. Game Boy Advance, I think is what it is.
Yeah.
So Diggs currently uses my Game Boy Advance. Show him the game.
Okay. This is just an awesome game. Pokemon Yellow.
He had it. This place had it. And he even said when he puts these games out, they're usually gone. And there's a good reason, because these games go for a pretty high price. I'm not going to tell you what we paid for it, but it was not the price we were expecting. It was cheaper. So great price. I'm sure you can't wait to play it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot.
The one part that everybody likes about this game is that Pikachu follows you.
Yeah. That is an awesome part. It's a classic game, so yeah, Diggs, I hope you enjoy it a lot, man. It's gonna be
I
fun.
finally have a chance to catch Mewtwo.
Yeah, there's secrets in this game too, right? And go ahead and do it, man. Have fun with it. But a great little place. Those are our treasures that we found on this visit, and hopefully stays under the radar far enough that we can still make benefit from it. But hopefully that guy does, or whoever's in charge of that store. I hope they have enough success without that place getting exploited. We just got to go in there and check their stock, because they actually do a pretty good job of rotating their stock. They got Masters of the Universe figures in there, Power Rangers, baseball cards, all kinds of stuff. It's really, really
everything
really
you can think of.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. Except perler beads.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, cool. So that's our discussion here for you. Diggs, you have anything to say before we get on to the most awesome interview ever with our first remote guest, part 2 of it, the conclusion, and the sequel?
Slime ball.
Slime ball is what he has to say. All right, so on that word, slime ball, we are going to bring to you the sequel of the most anticipated conversation in 2017 thus far, Jason Wischer.
One Brewers fan to a Cubs fan.
There you go. The world
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes.
I don't see. There's just a lot of hate out there, Jason.
Way too much hate.
And when the Cubs won, a lot of those haters came out.
Not me.
Posting just nasty things, and I'm like, dude, why you gotta hate? There's too much of it in the world. Seeing the Cubs win. See, I'm off topic.
This is the topic.
Seeing the Cubs win the World Series. You know what it did to me? Do you think I know you know the answer to this, but I'm going to people who are listening to this. Am I a Packers fan?
I think when the Packers are on, you'll watch them. I think you like the Bears.
Yeah, the Bears. I'm a Bears fan. To answer the question, I'm not a Packers fan.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a Packers fan.
You pretend to be a Packers fan.
Yeah, I do. Because
there are no other Bears fans around here. There's
pretty much. Yeah, where I work, which I'm not going to mention. I always try not to talk about work.
Oh, sure.
I don't want to get fired or anything like that. But where I work, there's a lot of Packer fans. So I act. I pretend to like them. And I say,
you pretend.
Go local football team. But the Cubs winning the World Series actually did something to me.
What's that?
The Packers, when I'd watched the Packers before, I didn't want to see them win. I didn't want to see them happy. I didn't like Aaron Rodgers' smile. I didn't like any of that. Okay.
Oh, no.
So when I started seeing all of this hate, hypocrite. But when I saw all this hate against the Cubs, I'm like, why? And it clicked. I no longer. Could be a historic moment for the IceBox.
That is historic.
I no longer hate the Packers.
Congratulations.
Thank you. They just made the playoffs. Congratulations, Green Bay Packers, for making the playoffs.
Right.
So congratulations to them. But I'm before I'd be like, well, who cares? I was like, well, whatever. They did it. Look at the NFC North. What do they have? Who do they have to beat to get there? Right. But no. They got in. Yeah. They got in, and now that's all they need. They just need they need to get in the playoff spot, and who knows what can happen.
Were you going to say a chip in a chair?
I could have. I'll say it now, chip in a chair. I don't know what that means, but
your brother plays poker.
Oh yeah. No, okay. So again, see, here's where we were, and we're like all the way over here now.
That's where we need to be. It's perfect.
You made a reference when we were playing bingo.
Yeah.
And you said, do you play poker? And
Yeah.
what did I say? I say, no, not really, but I'll play because I just want to hear them say, I want to say, hit me. And I got the totally wrong card game.
That's right. That's blackjack.
Terrible, dude. I don't get out much. What can you say?
That's funny.
So Packers, good for them. I no longer hate the Packers. I will cheer them on because I don't hate that. And basically just because I saw a lot of hate. And it's unnecessary. It just really is. You just let it go. So go Green Bay. Hope you make it far into the playoffs, if not the bowl. And congratulations once again to my favorite team, the world champion, Chicago.
The world champions, the Chicago.
So good to say.
Isn't that fun? It never gets old.
It hasn't yet, to me anyway.
From a diehard Brewers fan, I hope that the Cubs win the World Series next year, and I think they have a really good chance of doing it.
They do have a legitimate.
They have a great chance.
Yeah, and they're going to be good for years.
That's right.
They shouldn't even have won this year, to be perfectly honest.
No?
But they did because that's what's scary. Okay, really brief, but that's what's scary is like the Cubs team. They won the series, and they haven't even peaked yet.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of players who were Baez, for example, who started the playoffs great and then just turned it off. Because he hasn't learned to become clutch yet. He hasn't the consistency kind of thing. And they're still learning all that stuff. These are just kids for the most part. And they got to, with Theo Epstein and everyone there, they're just going to get better, which is, again, kind of scary for the rest of the league. But, hey, Cleveland really played well. Mm-hmm. And they played a lot better. I actually thought going into that, I was happy the Cubs made it to the World Series. But actually I thought after everything I saw what Cleveland was doing, I thought they were done. I thought Cleveland was going to win it.
I did too. You know what? I said that Game 7 of this past World Series was the single best baseball game I've ever seen in my life.
I agree. I mean, okay, so you saying that, just imagine how I felt being a Cubs fan watching that same historic, awesome baseball game. I mean, I'm surprised I'm still alive with this picker,
And I'm talking from now the second best is the moment when CC Sabathia was on the Brewers.
Yeah.
And he pitched first of all, one of the moments of that game is when he hit a home run in his own game. That was awesome because this is kind of newer in his reign with the Brewers.
Yeah.
He's a dominating pitcher, but he can also hit, and he hit a home run.
Yeah.
Pitchers don't hit home runs back then. Nowadays, I think wasn't there at least one of the games in the World Series that a Cubs pitcher hit a home run?
Not in the World Series.
No. When we were at BW3, maybe?
Huh?
Maybe when we were at BW3 for one of the playoff games?
But one of the playoff games, yeah. It was I almost want to say it was Jake. It was Jake Arrieta.
Okay.
I could be wrong, though, but I think he did hit a home run.
When pitchers hit home runs in those situations, it is so exciting.
Yeah.
But that's just a glimpse of how exciting Game 7 was. It
was fantastic. It was fantastic. Yeah. All right, so great hat by you. Opening day for the Brewers is when?
April 3rd. I'll be there.
I'm sure you're already making plans.
Will you be there? Are you gonna join us this year?
I would love to. If you're inviting me right now live on this broadcast, yes, I will be there. House of X be there. That'd be awesome, man.
And law of averages, it must be warmer than last year because last year was pretty cold. It was one of the colder opening days we've experienced in a while.
But Jason, you got the gear to be.
We got the proper gear. That's why it's going to be like 70 and beautiful.
Yeah, right. And then I'll bring the snow.
And then it'll snow on April 4th.
All right, so a hat change has happened.
Yes.
Let's get back to what you were saying.
What was I saying?
Well, with Brandon, you and Brandon. So you did your
Brandon and I. Yes, that was incredible. That was a lot of fun.
Impromptu talk. Dads with two hats. I mean, dads wearing. What is it?
Two dads with hats.
Two dads with hats. Thank you.
And that's our working title. We don't have T-shirts made or anything yet, or hats.
I know. I'm looking forward to the T-shirt. That'd be cool. I would wear
T-shirts. Look at your T-shirt. I'm sad that I'm not wearing mine today.
Yeah. This is impromptu.
Yes.
Look at that.
That is awesome. It's a Batman Starry Night shirt.
Yeah, it sure is.
That is incredible.
It's pretty slick. Again, given to me by this guy over here, the nucleus of social media gifted me again with that.
Now, were you wearing this before we started, or did you have to change before this?
No, I was wearing it.
That even just reinforces why today's recording is meant to be. That's awesome.
It's fate, man. If I hit stop recording right now, it would just jump back onto recording. Because no, dude, you're doing this.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right, so yes, you guys did an impromptu cast.
Today we jumped in,
Yeah.
and actually, so I'm a little bit more flexible with my schedule. Brandon is very busy these days.
You mentioned that, yeah.
Where he doesn't have much time in his day, and also, it gets dark kind of early this time of year, so it's not like he can walk out, and do something with natural lighting after work. So he basically resolved all the challenges that he encountered today. And it was 7:00 in the morning, his time, California.
I didn't even think about that.
That's right.
Yeah,
so
right.
he had to record this before work. And I said, the equivalent would be like if I woke up at 6 a.m. and jumped on a video call and recorded.
Yeah.
I had the pressure of I have to get ready for my day. I have to get in the shower. I have to travel to work, worry about traffic. And so he did all of that. That was the context for this morning's call. And I think it worked out much better than I could have ever expected. And
cool.
What I've done so far is I'm sending it to people for some feedback, and I want gloves off, constructive feedback. I don't want people to tell me, oh my God, they loved it, it's great. I do want to hear what they like about it so we could do more of that, but I want to hear what are we missing, and keeping in mind that I do prefer its raw and unedited format. That's how I share it. I don't want to pretty it up first and then ask you for feedback. I want everything as it is naturally. So that was incredible. I'm almost ready to share the video immediately. I know that's probably not a good idea, but maybe that's what we need. I don't know. So when Brandon,
I agree with that. That'd be kind of cool if you just put it out there, just for feedback alone.
For more wider feedback,
good or bad, whatever it is, it's feedback. And again, I'm no pro at this either, but you got to keep doing more shows, and you'll find what works, you'll find what doesn't, you'll find how to make things even better than what they are. But getting it out there, that's the first step. Like I said, who knows? I mentioned, and I laugh at this, but like I said, I've never got past 30 listens or, on my podcast, so I'm not even getting the full gamut of total feedback yet.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're saying you have options to get your thing out there I know you, dude. I know your network is vast. And I know you'll get a lot of plays, views, listens, or whatever, just attention to it. If you have that ability, I'd kill for that. I wouldn't kill, but figure I would say put it out there, live, unedited. Just put it out there and say, hey, yeah, this is a work in progress, of course, but this is what I think you get a good premise from the show that I watched this morning of what you want it to be. Is it perfect? It's not. But it'll never be perfect, man. I
don't want perfect.
No, it's a work in progress. You'll always be adapting and stuff like that too. Hashtag adapted for Tristan. But no, yeah, get it out there, man. Get the feedback. One of the things I loved about the show was when you guys turned it really conversational. That's me thing. I love things that are just conversational. Yeah, I mean, structure is cool. It serves its purpose as it has to. But for me, I think the entertaining factor, the humorous factor, just the getting people to listen factor is that conversation. And you guys had a few moments, more than a few moments. It was 16-minute vlog, right?
Right. It was 16 minutes.
Yep. Yeah, and you guys had moments where you could tell when it turned into, okay, let's talk about this.
That's right.
Versus maybe I don't want to say it. I don't want to embarrass him.
You can.
When he was, the 50-degree weather thing. When you guys,
that's right.
Weather there versus Wisconsin, you played off each other pretty well.
Thank you.
So if I want to see more dynamic like that, and again, I think it'll happen. But the time thing, as long as it's not rushed, because I could tell when he wanted to get it back on track and focus, because time was a constraint in this.
Yeah, he had to get in the shower to start his day. That was incredible.
I didn't want to go there.
I didn't realize that actually when we were in the moment. And I actually, I was glad and feeling fortunate that he is someone who is really good at that, at getting me back on track, and really in any conversation. That's one of his strengths. And
I know. And you're talking to me, the guy who can't stay on a path for the life of him.
I prefer it this way. So we could literally talk for 10 hours, and
yeah, I'm sure we could.
And it would be good. It would be interesting. It would be valuable. But that's something that I need, and he offers it. So that's why I think
cool.
there's
That is
many
cool.
dynamics there.
Yeah.
We have a good partnership. Speaking of that, that's one thing that you mentioned just a moment ago, is that when I am I think that just suddenly right now, what I did this morning and what we're doing right now, there is a partnership between these two videos. And I think that there's going to be many natural benefits to that. Because I'm going to help promote the Icebox. I believe in the Icebox. I think there's so much tremendous potential.
Thanks.
And it's not just potential. See, that leads me to my other point, and I don't want to hijack too much of this, but this is important to me.
Go ahead.
Where everyone calls themselves an expert of this, or people are considered experts of things.
Yeah.
And I like to divide it into different subcategories of how you get good at something, because I've always been above average on a lot of different things, but I'm not an expert. I don't want to be an expert. I don't want to be a pro bowler, but I have a couple of 300 games. You know, I don't want to be a professional musician, but I could pick up 5 instruments and play whatever I want.
That's pretty cool.
While listening to TV. I don't want to be a professional movie star or videographer, but you know what? I'm sitting in my basement on my camera with you, and this is excellent.
Isn't it fun?
It's so much fun. It really is. And it's live. This is live right now.
That's what's cool about it. Is that you said live. It gives me an idea.
Yes.
But,
Oh
no. Yeah, it's just an avenue to get a fix. But it also gives you the benefit of reaching a lot of people you normally wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and again, I see what value is the Icebox going to give. We're going to tell you, you know, that John Cena is awesome. We're going to tell you to read DC Rebirth. We're going to say, I can't wait for King Kong Skull Island to come out. Whatever.
That's good stuff.
Yeah,
I need
whatever.
that.
But
that.
the stuff that you're offering, you know, Two Dads with Hats. Already you see a parenting thing.
Mm-hmm.
You also see leadership, because that's where your first vlog was going. Or was. It was talking about leadership aspects and stuff that you were kind of pinpointing to. You have actually something valuable to offer to your audience and listeners. So I'm really looking forward to
partnership.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the partnership. Exactly.
Yes.
And what you guys have to offer. You're going to hit a lot of good things, and you're going to see a lot of good positive response. Maybe some negative too, who haven't seen those.
That's good
points. And yeah, that is good, because you need all. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to your stuff. So go ahead and continue.
And actually today is a great example here. So you can call this the path to mastery. You can call it becoming an expert. You can call it whatever you want. But here we are. We're starting. This is your first time doing Zoom video, which I think now you're doing a live Facebook video. I see. Like,
what do you mean live? I don't go live. What is this live?
I don't know. Live is more fun. Everything is better live. And this is happening live right now. It's 1:25 p.m. Central Standard Time on January 5th, Thursday, January 5th, 2017. That is incredible that we're able to do this.
It is.
But even as
we got our first viewer.
I think one of the things that I mentioned. Woo! Excellent. Say hello, first viewer.
Hi, first viewer, who happens to be Jessica.
Hi, first viewer, Jessica. We have Girl Scout cookies over here for hungry Larry.
I see that. Those are yummy.
So the first thing, the one thing that I really appreciate about just getting started, just jump in and just do it. I mentioned it earlier today. One of the first decision that you make is, I'm going to be brave. I'm going to be courageous. And that's what we're doing. This is the first time that you're doing.
Was that the first bullet point to your thing?
That's actually the second bullet point. You have to watch the other thing.
All right. So you're teasing us. So that's awesome. Yeah, the second bullet point
was a little bit.
Just like the Disney
was
movie.
To be brave.
Yes. So go brave.
But I mentioned remember to be brave.
Right.
So you are brave. It's not something that you need to learn how to do. You are brave.
Audience, or like you to me?
You to you. You to everybody. You to me. Me even. I'm saying every day I have a habit now that I've built where if I need to be brave, I know how to turn that on. I know how to remember to be brave. And what you're going to see after that is courage.
What helps you turn brave on it? Because, man, this is a scary place out there. We just talked about 2016 and how a lot of people didn't see it as a great year and stuff. You had a different viewpoint. Yeah. I had a different viewpoint. So when you see those kinds of things, what
not people in general, not me or not the people who are watching or anything like that, but you. What helps you turn that switch on to be brave through those moments?
So over the course of 2016, I've been exploring and learning a lot about the use of color. How can I incorporate color into my life and be more colorful? And what happened, I started with different colored Legos, and I traveled around the country and Canada using Legos as props to explain my message. But then that hit me that I can go to some website and produce a bunch of those. You remember the Lance Armstrong bracelets? Those like rubber or silicone bracelets.
Yeah.
I purchased 1,000. I got 1,000 bracelets made up for really cheap. It wasn't that bad. And they're different colors, and I give them out to all the people that are in the room when I come speak somewhere.
What's on those bracelets?
And also on the bracelets, it says people first, to remember that in the triangle of people, process, technology, if you're focusing on the process, if you're focusing on the technology, put people first. You're doing the technology. I need to upgrade these servers. You need to figure out what technology are we going to use for this video chat. We're going to use Zoom, not Facebook, not Skype. That doesn't matter. What matters is that we are here, and it's about the people. But so what I learned is 5 different colors I've identified.
Okay.
And you teased it earlier. My favorite color, purple.
Right.
I learned that when I put my purple wristband on in the morning before I leave the house,
yes,
it's my reminder to be brave that day, to turn on the courage.
Cool.
So every moment of that day, when everything that I encounter, every meeting, every difficult conversation, every new and exciting and scary and unfamiliar thing that happens,
yeah,
just go in with bravery, with courage.
And so purple, you've naturally associated. You kind of discussed this in the vlog this morning, so I don't want to rehash. But for IceBox listeners who haven't seen it, you associated purple with being brave, and that's right. You did that, right?
That's for me. I interpreted that. Over the last 2 years, I've been on this journey to strengthen my leadership skills to become a better leader. And part of that was also just a constant learning mentality, always growing, just pretty exhausting, frankly. I found that I had up to 3 hours every single day to focus on my personal growth. An hour in the morning before work, an hour after work, and of course it was during my lunch hour and the days that I was able to take lunch. Okay. So we're all busy. Being busy, I'm not glorifying the fact that I'm too busy this day or that day. If it's important enough, you'll make it happen.
True.
And these are the things that were important to me to learn, to explore more about the situations that I was in, but also learning more about myself. And that was one of the biggest, most profound areas of that journey in the last couple of years. And I've had several key influencers that have helped me. And as you know, Prince is one of those people in his music.
Yeah, you're a Prince fan. You're a Prince fan, right?
I'm a pretty big Prince fan, but for different reasons, I would say. It's not only about the music, but also it was his what I would describe as consciousness and awareness. He was a very spiritual person. He was very connected to the unconscious, to the spirit world, I guess you can call it that. And this year,
you're talking about him like he's really good, and he is was a
legend.
How you do, Prince?
Yep.
My experience with Prince is quite different from yours. That's right. Again, my world, I can't do it with both hands right now because I'm holding my phone with the other one right there. So my world is only this big, right? So my experience with Prince is only from the 1989 film Batman, when Prince's music was with the Joker and stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's Prince, huh? Well, that's different. That's kind of cool. That's it. I've heard about him. Yeah. He's a pop star. He made a huge impact. Yeah. He wore purple too, didn't he? Or am I just reaching for
Purple
that?
was his color.
All right, so a little
Yeah,
coincidence.
he was really big on
Coincidence or no? I don't think
brand.
so.
I don't remember. I think that it was coming together around the same time,
All right.
and that just kind of solidified. So, I mean, in April 2016, that's when I had the most profound peak of my journey this past year.
April
And
2016.
that's when April 2016, and that's when that's right when Prince died.
Yeah.
So it really didn't hit that level.
I said yeah, like I knew that. I didn't. I knew he died last year. I didn't
Yeah.
know it was April. So I'm just
Right.
But yeah, he died in April 2016. I knew that.
Interestingly enough, he died like a week after my presentation, and part of my first presentation
Oh, wow.
in front of a big group of people at a national conference. I've never done that before. Talking about doing things that are scary, and just just have courage and just do it. I was in front of a room of 110 people, and I'm playing I had a couple of videos in that presentation, and one of them was Prince's performance from the Super Bowl.
Oh, wow.
And he played Purple Rain, and it was like a 4-minute video, but I wanted to show everyone the point of that at that moment was that it doesn't matter what the weather is. It doesn't matter if it's sunny or cloudy. It doesn't matter if I have negativity around me. It doesn't matter what my current capabilities are and what the environment is. I have the ability to make an impact on that environment. And that's what Prince did in that video. And that's why it was so profound to me, because that month, I'll tell you, I have a lot more clarity now than I did before, but that month is when I learned the lesson. I still don't have it mastered, by the way, but I learned the lesson that some little freaking guy over here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, have a much bigger impact than I'm giving myself credit for. I have a bigger potential to make an impact on the world.
Whoa.
It's crazy to say that even. It's kind of fun.
I was almost going to say, dude, you're crazy. I was almost going to say, dude, you're crazy. What are you talking about?
Crazy? Yeah. I can change the world. But the best part is you are changing the world. And Tristan is changing the world. And Jackson is changing the world. Every single human being. Go Jackson. Every single human being, as long as you're alive, and sometimes after you die.
True.
You have the potential to change the world and make an impact. And when you say change the world, that gets pretty lofty, and people are like, hogwash. But that's why I like to refer to it as making an impact. And actually, have you seen the video on my YouTube page about my first time in the Atlantic Ocean?
Yes. You shared it with me. I did.
That's what the point of that video was.
I got that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the point, is I was standing in the sand, in the water, and the tide came in from the huge, vast, powerful ocean.
Right.
And as the tide came back, it would suck a lot of the sand and the rocks and whatever back into the water. But where I was standing, I displaced probably, in that moment, it was 2 to 3 inches of sand. Right. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And at that moment, when the huge, powerful ocean came in, water couldn't go in that place that I was standing.
No.
And when it left, the water filled that place that I was standing 2 or 3 inches deep.
Yep.
Now, that sounds really silly to a lot of people, because
not to this guy.
Ocean, it's a lot more than 2 or 3 inches deep. You know, the impact is small and kind of immeasurable if you think in relative terms. Right. But when you have the power of, you can multiply the impact. If both of us are standing on the beach, then that 2 to 3 inches turns into a lot more. And when you bring 50 of your friends and 100 of your friends and 1,000 of their friends, all of a sudden you have a movement, and all of a sudden you have like-minded individuals that are rallying behind a cause and a purpose. That's what 2016 was for me.
Cool.
And I needed to experience all of the highs and the lows, and there were many. There were many incredible highs. There were some pretty crazy lows, and I've learned many positive lessons from all of them. So that's pretty crazy.
No, yeah, that's
live on Facebook.
And you know what you said, that is so true. You know, you have 2 people in the sand, and you get their friends. That's what your vlog is going to do. You know, you're reaching one person, and that person will share the video and you have the impact to reach so many people currently nowadays. You know, so I think that's really profound and almost scary. So I'm glad you have the purple bracelet to be brave, because You don't
Got to
know.
have the courage. Yep.
You don't know who you're going to be reaching. You know, some people will see that message and it'll think, oh, God, thanks. That's something I needed to hear. Other people will hear it and say, that's a joke, dude. I'm wasting my time listening. You don't know. But you literally reached that person, or you've reached people you don't even know, for good or for worse, I guess, technically.
Mm-hmm.
But you have the ability and potential to make a positive impact on a lot of people. And honestly, so I'll take it back to this show for a second, just for a second, because you're the guest of honor. But I always say on the Icebox, I just want to make one person smile or laugh. Laugh is a bonus. Laugh is gravy. I want to bring. We were talking about negativity earlier in the cast today, and I don't want that. Again, that's why I turned to not hate the Packers any longer. You know, I'm done. I was like, that's stupid, because I saw so much hate for these guys. I'm like, yeah, we need people to bring positivity to this world, you know? So that's another reason why I did the podcasting. That's one of my origins is I wanted to do it just to make people smile, you know, laugh, because in this world that we are in, it's scary sometimes. And you don't have that shine or that positivity anymore. And with the stuff that you and Brandon will be talking about again, it looks like you guys really will bring a lot of good positive things for a change, you know, and how you got there. That's what's another interesting factor about the vlog that I viewed this morning of you, is you didn't talk about it. Again, time constraint was obvious, but you dropped, both of you dropped a lot of hints of that, hey, that you didn't just get here, you know, and you've promoted too that you want it to be about the journey. I was apprehensive to doing this today, and you said, hey man, let's just record it. You told me this. It's like, let's just do it. It's about the journey too, not just the finished project. Well, we did it. We're here and we're broadcasting. So it's kind of cool. I like that. Is there another one of the bullet points you wanted to drop and tease us with, or are you going to leave it at the Brave?
You know, I think that you just revealed the third bullet point, and that is to smile. It is so, smiles are contagious. And positive energy is contagious. Hang on 1 second. Actually,
this was a tease, so I'm going to sign off Facebook Live now.
Yeah.
So, Facebook Live audience, this was a tease to hear the rest of this brilliant and colorful conversation. You got to tune into the Icebox, whether it's on our YouTube channel or on our SoundCloud or on iTunes. When I broadcast it anyway, I got to edit this thing a little bit, just a little bit, okay? But to find out the rest of the discussion, you got to tune into one of these. I hope you do. I'm sure the nucleus of social media hopes you do as well. And we're looking to see what feedback you give us on this show too. So Jason, before we dismiss our Facebook Live audience, do you have anything to say to them? Assuming they can hear you.
Just that I hope you're having a great start to 2017. I know I am. I've had, this is the first week, right?
Yeah, we're
I don't even know anymore.
Yeah.
It's day 4 of the first week of 17. And I've already had 3 incredibly productive and exciting and valuable days.
Awesome.
And we had one day that was pure laziness. We didn't do anything.
You need those days too, man. You need to reach
out on the couch. And I've learned to appreciate those as well. I'm on this journey right now where I'm trying to find greater balance around being productive and how I feel about being productive.
Yeah.
And frankly, right now, I feel like if I'm not getting a lot of stuff done, it wasn't a good day or it wasn't productive. And that's not a good outlook. I'm learning to reverse that a bit and say, you know what? I'm allowed to take a day off. I'm allowed to be lazy today, or maybe for this morning, and then I'll get everything done. And for me, I'm trying to get better at starting with one goal per day. Just one thing that I'm going to do every day. And that's going to help me. And sometimes that thing is going to be nothing. I'm going to do nothing today because I choose to do nothing today.
Yeah. Oh, so you said, I know I was supposed to hit finish on the live thing, but I'm not yet. So
that's okay.
You still get a little bit more.
Yeah.
So what would you say to someone like me who says, I want to take a week off and not do anything? Am I wasting my time?
Nope. You're spending your time. You're not wasting. There's never a waste. You're spending your time how you want to spend it. And it, to me, the biggest lesson in there is empowering yourself to have a choice. You get to choose how you spend your time. And if you want to choose it to sit there all week, you can do that. There's consequences, but you could do whatever you want with your time. And it's limited. It's special.
Yeah. Oh, I was just wondering. I mean, because one of the consequences, if you're just sitting in a chair, it could be dirty underwear. right? I mean, you got to
Maybe.
shower. You got to
You
use
get
the bathroom
sweaty.
now and then
With
too.
the hat, you get a little sweaty.
A little bit. I'm surprisingly, I haven't begun to perspire. And this is a warm hat. I wore it yesterday because it was below.
It's very warm.
So I'm surprised in my 67-degree house of M that I'm not sweating like profusely right now. You know what I hate? I hate back sweat. I hate back sweat. When I'm going for my walks,
The worst.
I have back sweat happen,
Yeah.
and then a breeze comes up, it hits my coat, and it just hits me like a ton of bricks. Right I hate back sweat.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I shouldn't have included that in this conversation, but it's ugly. I don't like that. But this hat keeps me.
Oh, that's good.
All right. I got about 12 more minutes.
Cool. Let's do it.
Because I do have to go. I have to do some things like
You have to get in the shower.
Use the bathroom. No,
Yeah.
I'm
I'm gonna get in the shower too. We could, you know.
I got to pick up my kids too in a little
That's
bit.
right.
So, we'll wrap this up in 12 minutes. So,
Okay.
continue on with anything else that you wanted to ask me or cover on your morning vlog this morning.
So that's a great question.
What did I ask?
No, that's a good question. I'm not sure. To wrap it up with the vlog, we're looking to do it once a week, and just do it. Just record and keep it regular, keep it consistent. And I think that you and I can form a nice partnership to help each other stay accountable to our goals there.
I'm all for it, man.
Let's do it. I mean, we can compare notes, and I really think that there's a lot of room for partnership here to help each other, and we can and we will. So that's one thing, and I'm excited about the opportunity that we have here. The next thing is that I'm doing a bit of traveling over the next several weeks.
Warmer
Next
weather.
And one of the other lessons about 2016 for me is that traveling opens you to new and exciting experiences
Yeah.
that you wouldn't ordinarily get to. And I didn't always believe that, by the way. I thought that, I'm good here, especially when we live in Milwaukee. Not that many people leave Milwaukee, especially they don't relocate or move if you're born here. And I fit in that category. I've lived here all my life, and my travel is quite limited compared to those that travel a lot. The last couple of years, I've had the privilege of traveling more, and I'm hoping to do the same in 17.
Well, you mentioned earlier. You said you've been all the way to Canada.
Yeah.
I know you've been to Florida too. Obviously, I was on a couple of those trips, but where else? You've been to Nevada?
I've been to Vegas once. I've been to Reno like maybe 5 times.
Okay. Yeah, you've gotten around. And my thing is, I always tell people, if you have a chance to travel,
do it,
man. And
Just
do it while you can. Don't
Right.
say I'm going to do it, when I retire, or when I'm in, whatever age you are. If you have a chance to do it, just do it. Because first of all, tomorrow is not guaranteed for anyone.
That's right.
Also, you were saying, you can learn a lot from going out of your we'll call it comfort zone, but even if your comfort zone is your home state, you just get to see things and experience things, which I think is very valuable. This coming from a guy who doesn't travel a lot, and I wish I could. I've been to Illinois. I've been to other states when as a kid, but like in the last 10 plus years, nothing really, man. But yeah, so I'll say that too, is like, if you have a chance to travel, go out and do it.
Well, do you want to go to Dallas next month? I'm going to Dallas in February.
I probably can't because of work.
Yep. See, although what would it look like? Just crazy idea. If you can work remotely at a store there, while
I can't work remotely. It's retail.
Okay.
They need greatness incarnate at that store.
I'm sorry, not remotely. Can you put in some work to maybe train or to do some shadowing for one of the FedEx office stores down there?
Funny. Well, okay.
Sorry, I just said it.
Yeah, I'll edit. Hey, editing. It's great. It's a great thing. No, it doesn't really work that way.
Okay.
With where I'm at, there's a couple things that I was trying to do to shadow some people, but it was like more in the Madison or even Illinois area.
Okay. Different regions, different markets.
Are going to other places.
Okay, that's an idea. But then we're going to Washington D.C. in May. That's going to be very exciting.
Cool, awesome.
So Jess is coming out, and one of our good friends, Christy, I mentioned the hat earlier, is having a baby due in May.
Hey, congratulations!
Pretty much around the same time, same week that I'll be speaking at my second ever national conference.
That's a big deal, man.
Thank you. That's huge.
You said last year was your first time, obviously.
Yeah.
So what have you learned from what's going to be different this year?
Yeah, there's going to be quite a few things that are different. First of all, the format is different. I'm not going to be speaking in one of the breakout sessions, but rather I'll be at one of the breakfast briefing sessions. So my role is to kickstart the day and basically get people energized about, getting butts in seats early and starting the day, kind of like almost like an opening act, because one of the keynotes is directly after me in the big hall.
Okay.
And another thing is I've refined my content quite a bit since last year. The biggest change is more tangible content, actionable content that people can take away. But even along this journey throughout 2016, I've noticed that everyone takes away something unique. And there are certainly people that either don't connect, or they don't want to, or they're distracted, or they're bored. And frankly, I just don't pay attention to them. That's one of the.
Yeah, what'd you say? I wasn't listening. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
That's right. And actually, that was one of the speaking tips. So that public speaking is the number one fear in the world.
It'd be yeah, that's pretty safe bet. Yep.
Mm-hmm. So one of the tips that I've learned along the way, and it's not picturing people in their underwear. I've never done that. I don't think that works, or it doesn't matter. But what I do is I find the people that are engaging in the audience and the people that are paying attention and feel like they're getting something from it.
Yeah.
And speak directly to them. Like literally look at them and talk to them and smile at them. And then other people notice that and they're like, I'm going to pay attention too. So that's a really fascinating trick I've learned along the way. It's just,
I've never heard that. That sounds like that would totally work, or it sounds very feasible and a good mentality and a plan of action too. So that's kind of cool. Did you discover that, or how'd you figure that out?
So that's one of my many influencers and kind of remote mentors. Simon Sinek is one of those folks that talks about leadership, and he wrote several books on leadership. And one of the best books he wrote is Start with Why. So tell people your purpose, what drives you, why are you doing it in the first place? Start with that.
Okay.
But he mentioned that trick in one of his speeches. He's one of the folks that gained a lot of popularity on TED Talks. Have you heard of TED Talks?
Yeah.
He has, I think, the third most viewed TED Talk in the world.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So he's pretty good. He's one of maybe 5 or 6 really influential people over the last 2 years for me.
Awesome.
And I practiced that. And I've been in experiences where I needed it. I've been in experiences where people were multitasking. They were looking at their computers, checking their phones, whatever they were doing kind of early on, and it was distracting. So as a speaker, you feel it, and then it kind of gets you off the tracks a bit.
I bet, yeah.
So by doing that, it just makes it for a better experience for everyone. It's good stuff.
Cool. Let me ask you this question then too. Who inspired you to even do public speaking?
Yeah, so I had to think a lot about what it means to be a public speaker and engaging in public speaking events. And at this point, I'm someone who I don't want to do this full time. I don't want to travel all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think I like the balance that I have right now, being home, and then I have an event and I prepare for it with all my blood, sweat, tears, energy. Then I go to it. I'm all in on that day. And then after it's done, I celebrate a bit, and then we move on to the next one. Kind of like the Green Bay Packers have done for each of their wins. They have to be in the moment, be there all the way. So I've had several people. I've had the luxury of being around lots of people that are doing what I just started doing through HDI. I've been volunteering for a nonprofit organization and professional association for the IT service and support community for several years. I've grown quite a bit, and I've learned so much from so many great people, and I've gotten to know people that are doing exactly what I'm doing now. So I think that's why I've taken an interest over the last several years. But I lead with my passion and my interest in real, authentic leadership. Not just it goes into the differences between management or being a boss.
Yeah,
real leadership. And I do believe that many of the things that my key influencers have said is that leadership is only about focusing on the people. It's not about focusing on results. Management is about process and stuff and results.
Right.
But management is not leadership. And I'm so focused on leadership and inspiring people to unlock their potential. And when you do that, they achieve the results. Now, we all know what bad leadership feels like. I've been working on becoming the best leader that I can be and constantly learning and growing.
Cool.
And I've led with that passion. So now I'm at the point where I want to share what that looks like, share some tips and tricks, and really talk about my journey where I've had some success. And I think it's possible, and it's contagious, just like a smile.
That's awesome, man. I wish you the best of luck on this journey that you're still on.
Yeah.
I hope you get the most experiences out of these things too. I've seen a lot of growth from you as well, and I hope it continues, because we're always developing, we're always adapting, because things are just changing, you know?
Always.
So yeah, I wish you the most success in that, man. Keep in touch.
Yes.
You know, I hope, like you said, this is a partnership. I hope we can continue this partnership going forward too. Final thought. What do you want to? What you kind of just, you told me about the public speaking thing. What's the last question? What's the purpose of the vlog?
Yeah, I think it's to spark new ideas, to share some insight, but also, as we know, when we share things, we also gain so much. So with that, I want to learn more and hopefully understand more about the topics that we're going to discuss. One interesting point that we were talking about, the cats like microphones. That's awesome. Those of you on the podcast only can't see that.
Yeah, exactly. That's the benefit of seeing the video.
That's right.
So, all right. Hey,
Power of YouTube. You know, we talked about the fact that some of the things that Brandon and I have in common, we're both dads, and we've learned so much. We've both been in partners in leadership roles. So the combination, I think, of what we learned as being a leader and what we learned about being a father, I think that there's many, many parallels there. I think that I always consider you to be an excellent father, someone I look up to. I think you're a great dad.
Oh, geez. All right.
So naturally, that means that you are a great leader as well. And I'm interested in maybe just identifying and highlighting a lot more of the similarities between the two hats that we wear.
You know what that means, right? First of all, thank you. I appreciate that coming from you. That means, I guess, the most influential speaker from the House of M will maybe have to be a guest on your show at some point.
I think that's but I'm really interested when we do that. We have to do like a particular venue.
Yeah.
The first thing that comes to mind, I remember when you went live on Facebook, up on top of the little ride that goes across at Festa.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool to do a little bit of a live vlog up there.
Yeah, that'd be, you'd catch me at one of my weakest moments. So yes, I'll be honest.
That would be a lot of fun. But when we do this, I'm very interested in coming up with some really good ideas around some kind of environment that is super interesting and unique. So let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Hey, thank you for the impromptu of this. I think that's a word. I probably wouldn't have done it if you didn't say let's do it now. I would have just been watching Death Note on my screen right kind of there. So, but no, this was really fun, dude.
Thank you.
And again, it's an honor, and you are the first remote guest on the IceBox. I appreciate that big time. I appreciate you entering or showing me Zoom. You showed me possibilities. I wish you the best too. I'm going to wrap this thing up here. You can stay on the air because I'm going to hit stop in a moment. But
excellent.
It'll be stopping for the audience, but it'll be still on air for us too. But thank you very much for attending the show. I appreciate it, and I hope I can have you back again.
Thank you, sir.
All right, take care.
Thank you.
We're trying hard to let loose all the things that bother us. Then we go out and let it go. Then we go out and let it flow.
Okay, there it was. Again, we were really excited to bring Jason onto the show.
We were.
He was our very first remote guest, and it went pretty successful, to be honest.
Yep.
I wish him well. I wish his career to have great things happen for him and his ventures into this podcasting and vlogging and whatever else he's getting into. The guy has thousands of plans, and I hope he gets to chance to get to them all. Fun guy to talk to. We could have talked for much longer too. So
Months.
I'm pretty sure he's going to be coming back onto the show, and he'll have even some more stuff to reveal. And I know he's on a trip right now, so I hope he has a safe one, and I hope he has a fun one as well. But Jason, thank you very much, and we're looking forward to you returning to the Icebox. Just a couple of tidbits to wrap this episode out for you. We want to thank everyone who has been taking the time to listen to our episodes and downloading our stuff, following us. But man, we love it. I love attention. I don't know if you knew that or not. My wife does. I'll sneeze just to get attention sometimes. But
Bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you.
That was totally out of order, but it worked. But man, seriously, follow us on Twitter. Our handle @IceBoxcast. We'll be having a Facebook page going live pretty soon here too, and it's going to be a pretty neat Facebook page. If I do say so myself, I did say so myself. It's going to have some crazy topics. It's going to
be
have
the best one ever.
Well, sure, best one ever. But it's going to show a lot of our creations that we do around the House of M as well. Everything from perler beads to cricket creations, our new toy. But yeah, check us out when that goes live. But until then, again, Twitter is the best way to find us. You can follow us on Instagram and Snapchat, and both of those handles are identical. They're IceBoxcast. So follow us, see, and give us feedback. Man, we just want to hear from anyone, to be honest. I don't remember the last person that I've heard from. Do you? No, he doesn't either. Anyway.
We would also like to hear from Captain America.
If you're out there, Captain America, Steve Rogers, please, we'd love to hear from you. We buy your Lego figures. That should be good enough reason for you to respond to us. Gosh, send us a tweet. Or reach us on Google Hangouts at IceBox.
I think we're both having trouble saying words.
At gmail.com. We'd love the interaction. We'd love to share whatever feedback we got with you too, and give us the feedback as well. Let us know if you're having fun listening to these shows. Again, we talk everything pop culture here, and depending on the guests, we may get into cool things like leadership and colors, as you can tell from Jason Wischer. It just depends, but it's like I said before, you open up the icebox, you don't know what you're going to find. That's what this show is.
It's not going to be ice.
It's, maybe not. You open up the icebox, you expect to find ice. That's not guaranteed anymore, folks. It's not guaranteed. But what you will find when you open up this icebox, you're going to find the most influential speaker from the House of M, and this guy digs.
The guy who digs.
Bringing it to you as often as we can. We reached episode 20. Episode 20 is a wrap. Diggs, take us home.
Well, until next slime, may all your Pikachu cakes be tasty.
Nice. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Have fun, everyone. Bye.